Can you introduce about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Hemarata. I'm from Hyderabad. Currently, I'm working as a software tester in one of the software company. I have 3.5 years experience in automation testing. My roles and responsibilities are I'm designing and develop the automation test script using Selenium WebDriver and Java. Develop the test cases using web element locators and the TestNG annotations and Selenium WebDriver methods and enhance the test cases using Java programming features and TestNG annotations, create page objects and on test method and create test cases as per existing framework and execute the smoke test to our every deployment, share the result and create a smoke test cases and also involved in the regression testing and retesting and execute the Selenium test cases and report the defects through defect tracking tool Jira and I'm using data driven framework using TestNG. I'm attending daily stand up calls for updating on the automation testing on agile methodology. These are my roles and responsibilities.
Okay. So, how much experience do you have in automation?
3.5.
3.5. Okay. So, we will start with Java and Selenium first, and then I'll ask some questions about manual testing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, can you tell me what is meant by synchronization?
Synchronize in Selenium.
Yeah.
Okay, I in Selenium in synchronization means it's weights. There are three types of weights. That is implicit weight, explicit weight, fluent weight. While doing the automation testing, we got some exceptions like no such element exception, timeout exception, synchronization exceptions. To overcome that exceptions, we just need to write these synchronizations. Mm, implicit wait it is used to wait the n number of seconds before throwing the exception. It is defined in global and explicit wait means it is used to click a specific web element. It is used to target a specific web element
Okay.
by using explicit wait.
So, as we know that some people also use thread.sleep, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the difference between using thread.sleep and using waits?
Thread.sleep, all the synchronizations topics in the Selenium, thread.sleeps comes from Java.
Hmm. But
The
is it
statement of
function wise, is it same or any difference is there?
function wise, some function wise is the same like the synchronizations like thread dot sleep given 2000 seconds.
Hmm.
In explicit wait, there is a little bit difference is that a by using explicit wait, we just target only the some specific web element. That element is visible or not. That element is clicked. That actions we go for the explicit wait. That is the differences.
Okay. Any other difference?
Um, alt execution.
What does mean by that? So see, in thread.sleep, if you are given any duration, like let us say 5 seconds, so compulsorily it will wait for 5 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, and if in wait you have given 5 seconds, it will wait until the web element is found. So if the web element is found within 2 seconds, then it will execute the code. Okay, it won't wait for 5 seconds. But if you are using thread.sleep, it will wait for 5 seconds compulsorily. That is the basic difference between thread.sleep and wait.
Okay.
Okay, good. What is interface?
Interface. In interface, we write the abstract methods. We
Hmm.
just only declaration. We just write on a declaration part. No need to implement.
Hmm.
We just write only the abstract methods in the interface. In interface, the variables must be in public, static, final, and the methods must be in a public. We can achieve the multiple inheritance by using this interface. We can implement more than one interface. We can implement interface by using the implement keyword.
Okay. Can we create object of interface?
Mm, no,
Why?
because we write the static methods.
Okay.
That's why we call through class name also.
Okay. Another answer may be that in interfaces, right, we don't have the declaration. We only have
Yeah,
a definition of that particular class or methods, right?
yeah,
So whenever we are using object, it will look out for non-static elements of that particular class which are not there. So that's why we cannot create object of the interfaces.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So you use Java as a programming language, right?
Yes.
So can you tell me some of the exceptions in Java? Not in Selenium.
Java compile time exception, null point exception, exception.
Index out of bound exception, right?
Yes, index out of bound if yeah.
Okay. Can you share your screen and open a notepad? Yeah. So can you write a program to reverse a string?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. So will this reverse the string? Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
You are starting your loop int I equals to 0, right?
Yeah.
So it will print the string as it is. You'll have to start from the end if you want to reverse the string. And what if you don't know about the length of the string?
I just count like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So and now the string is of 8 characters, that's okay. But if I write a string which is of consist of 2 lines maybe, and you have to reverse those 2 lines, so in that case you don't know the length of string, right? What can we
Okay.
do?
Repeat once again.
If you don't know how many characters are there in the string,
Okay.
what can we do?
If we don't know how many characters in that time, we go for s dot length.
S dot length, right?
Length. Yes.
Yeah. So you should use always s dot length. So if you have to use s dot length, what how the program will be? Can you rewrite it? Instead of 8, what will we use?
S dot length. Here I'm using s dot length.
Okay, so this will throw an exception. Which exception will that be?
This one is that index
Index
exception.
out of bound, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what's wrong here?
Yeah. 7. I think 8 less than or equal to 8. In that time, it throws the index exceptions.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Wait,
5,
wait,
6.
wait. I tell you. Here the count is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The count is 8. If you write count is 9, in that time, that exception throws.
Okay, so are you sure in this program the exception will not come?
I equal to. Mm, um, mm,
Okay,
except,
so the middle condition, right? I is less than s dot length.
yeah,
Shouldn't it be s dot length minus 1,
yeah.
right? And I less than or equals to s dot length minus 1.
I less than or equal to, yeah.
Okay, so now we will not get any exception.
Yeah,
Okay, um, can you write a program to find duplicate characters in a string?
yeah. I just remember how to duplicate character.
So the output will be O is a duplicate character. We can print like that.
You write like 0, 0. These two are duplicate characters, right?
Right, yes.
Mm, so,
Okay, can you explain me the logic or approach you will use to do this?
Um, I just forgot how to fetch the duplicate character.
Okay, so in this program, no, we'll have to use two for loops. Okay, and we have to compare first character with each every other character and to see if that character is matching with any other character. And
Okay.
so you will be using two for loops with if statement also, and then you will be able to print
Yeah,
the
if
duplicate character.
character is equal to s dot character of j.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, no issue. Let's move to next question. In Selenium, we write WebDriver driver equals to new Chrome driver.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. A WebDriver is an interface. Driver is the reference variable. New is the keyword. Chrome driver is the class. It is we create an instant variable for that particular browser.
Okay. For what purpose?
Um, a WebDriver direct calls to the browser.
Hmm.
To do WebDriver direct calls to the browser.
Okay. And how many methods are there in WebDriver? Well, so this is basically this is the example of upcasting. Do you know what is upcasting?
Yeah, upcasting means there is a parent class and there is a child class. First, we create an object for parent class like parent P is equal to new parent and child for child C is equal to new child. Upcasting
Hmm.
means assigning the child class object or reference variable to the parent class.
Correct. So here child class is Chrome driver
Yeah,
while parent interface is WebDriver.
yeah,
And why are we doing that? Because in interface there are around 14 methods which we need to use, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that with it works. Okay, so what is meant by exception and error? What is the difference?
Exceptions means if any element is not visible in the DOM page in that time throws the exceptions. Error means uh, some coding error, programming errors while writing the coding.
Okay, how can we catch exceptions?
How can we catch exceptions by using try catch block?
By using try and catch block, right? And how
Yeah.
can we catch errors?
mm, I don't know how can we catch errors.
Okay,
Error is similar to the exceptions.
so if we use try and catch block, will that print error as well?
No.
No, right? So
Mm.
we have to catch errors differently. What is the superclass in this exceptions?
Exceptions.
What is the superclass? What is the superclass of exception or errors?
WebDriver.
No. Have you heard of throwable?
No, I know only the try catch blocks only. If any exceptions, I'm using the try catch box, so I don't know.
Okay. So throwable is the supermost or superclass for errors and exceptions. Okay. Okay. Tell me if we don't know about the exceptions, what will be right in catch block?
If it,
If we don't know about which exception will come, we are
yeah,
not sure. So what
Yeah.
will we do
In
in
that
catch
time,
block?
in that time, we write in the try catch block.
What will we write?
In try, we write like driver dot find element, which exceptions throws, which element is not visible, or like which except we know that they throw some exception in that. We write that excuse me code in the try block,
Hmm.
and
What?
exception the message print in the catch block.
Okay. So we write catch in bracket. If you don't know about the exception, that is
Yeah.
it a no such element exception or still element exception, then what will we do?
Mm,
We will create a reference of exception class, right? So
yeah.
in catch and in bracket, we will write exception E,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
will directly print E, right?
Yeah.
So whichever exception will come, it will be printed.
Yeah.
So if we want to catch errors, in that case, we will have to create a reference of throwable class, which is a superclass of exception and errors. So if
Okay.
we use throwable class reference, it will print errors as well as your exceptions.
Okay.
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 Okay. How many do you know about collections?
Yeah. List set.
List, set, any else? Did you use
Hash
any
map.
collection in your framework?
Yeah, in my framework we use the list and collection. Sorry, list and set.
List and set. What is the difference between list and set?
Yeah, in list allows duplicate values. Set does not allow duplicate values. List gives ordered collections. Set does not gives ordered collections.
Okay. Okay.
List is used for find the elements. Set is used for the window handles.
Okay. Can we use both of them at the same time?
Yeah, yeah. At same time, we can use both of them in the window handles method.
Get window handles method, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you open Amazon.in your browser?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Before we move, what are the different types of XPaths we are having in Selenium?
Absolute XPath and relative XPath.
Only two?
Only two. We have XPaths. Only two. Absolute and relative.
Okay. What about like,
Locators.
yeah.
Locators means ID, name, class name, tag name, link test, partial link test, CSS selector, and XPath.
Okay. Now search iPhone in Amazon search bar. Search for iPhone.
Search for iPhone. Okay. You can write code for that.
No, no, just search for iPhone.
Okay.
Okay, now just scroll a little bit. You have to find XPath of 70,000 triple nine, 70,999.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so how many results are coming?
I need to.
Hide that. Click on hide.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Three. Uh, in the time I write like this. Yeah.
okay. So I want a generalized XPath of prices of iPhone. here you have picked 70,999 text, right? So it's targeting to only one iPhone.
Yeah.
I want expert of that price, so not about exact price,
Okay.
expert of every iPhone present over there.
Okay.
The way we find, like find elements method we use, right?
Yeah, find elements in the type.
Yeah, so can you write a expert for that?
Mm. You asking me like this one and this like that
Yeah.
and this. Okay. Yeah. This is the
Okay,
expert for.
price, right? Now
Yes.
there are total 17 expert are there.
Yeah.
So let us say there are total 17 elements. Now,
Mm.
is it possible to skip any particular element? Like in the front, there is one iPhone of 80,999. I just want to skip this element. Is it possible? And I have to store other all elements.
I think the find element return type is the list. It gives dot
Hmm.
size, the size of the list. I think it's not possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is one skip method. If you want to skip any web element,
Okay.
one method is there in skip as skip in Selenium. Do check
Okay.
out for that method. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to skip any particular web element, we can do that using skip method.
Okay.
You have used TestNG.
Yeah, I'm using TestNG.
Okay. What are the different annotations there?
Different annotations. So TestNG means TestNG is a framework. It comes from the inspiration of JUnit framework. It contains all the features of JUnit and also adds some external features. So it is more powerful and advanced. Uh, TestNG supports different annotations like at the rate before suit, before test, before class, before method, at the rate test, at the rate after method, at the rate after class, at the rate after test, edit after suit, and also in TestNG we have the one data provider annotation. By using this annotation we can achieve the data driven testing and the written framework, and we have one direct parameters annotation to provide the to pass the parameters in TestNG.xml file, and by using TestNG we it is used to allows the priorities to the test cases, and we can test multiple test cases in multiple browsers by using the parallel attribute in testng.xml file. um, and also have the assertions. These are the testng benefits.
Okay. Now, if I want to execute failed test cases, how can we do that?
Failed test cases.
Yeah. So whenever we execute a suit, some of the test case will get passed, some will get failed, right? Now, if I have to execute the failed test cases only, how can we do
I
that?
just that multiple failed test cases
Hmm.
grouped and convert into the testng.xml file, and in there we have the attribute, we have the tags like groups, um, exclude, sorry, include name is equal to whatever the given the name that the group failed test cases I write there,
Mhm.
and execute that only failed test cases. Like there is the HR department and IT department. All the HR departments test cases failed. In that time, I mentioned like groups at the test groups is equal to HR test cases. That HR department name is placed into the testng.xml file.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the scenario is like this: whenever the suit is failing, or whenever we are executing the suit, some test case will get passed, some will get failed. So those failed test case should re-execute again. Is it possible? Like you don't need to go to testng.failed XML
Okay.
without going there and re-executing that XML. Can we automate this? Is it possible?
In our project, there is a one folder that is a test output folder.
Mhm.
All the inside that we will get the all the failed test cases, like the test case.xml. By using that, we can execute the failed test cases.
No, my question is, can we automate this process? Like once your suit is executed, the report will get generated, and the
Okay.
failed test cases should re-execute again.
Mm. Yeah, we
Is it
can
possible?
re-execute.
No, we don't have to re-execute. We have to automate this process. Is it possible?
Mm, I don't know.
Okay. So we can again do that in TestNG. In listeners, there is one listener. I retry
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It's through on test pass, on test fail, and through I can execute through I test listener. I
Hmm.
can write a method like screenshot
Hmm.
under the on test fail. We can execute whenever the test case fails. We can execute through on test fail.
Okay. Yeah, that was expected.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so as a version control tool, what do you use?
GitHub.
GitHub, right? Okay. So, what is the difference between, let us say, git merge and git rebase? Merge and rebase two methods are there, right? In Git.
Yeah.
So, do you have any idea?
I don't. I have no knowledge about Git. I just use only Git push and Git add.
Okay. So, have you faced merge conflicts?
No.
No. So, is anyone handling the pull push process of the project or code, or you are doing yourself?
Excuse me.
You are only pushing and pulling the project.
No.
Okay, someone else is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he might be facing the merge conflict
Yeah.
because do you know or do you have any idea about what is meant by merge conflict?
I have no idea about that.
Okay, but read about it. Okay,
Okay.
you should know about it. Okay, last question. Which framework do you use?
I'm using data-driven framework using TestNG.
Okay, so can you explain your framework a little?
Yeah. Data-driven framework means same task or same operation. We can check by multiple set of test data. In data-driven framework, we can feed the data in Excel, Microsoft Excel. We can get the data from the Microsoft Excel by using Apache Py. Selenium does not support any redundant operations, so it depends upon the third party tool that is Apache Py. And also we use the data provider annotation. Data provider annotation, it is a container to supply data into the our test method by giving the name of the data provider. My framework, I have some specific structure that is SRC main, SRC test, log reports, config, libraries. and browser folder. All my automation script maintained in the SRC folder. In SRC folder, we have some specific folders like business modules, business components, utilities, page objects, and all my automation code maintained in the SRC test folder. In SRC as a business module, it is nothing but code reusability. We have specific functionalities like log out, login, and create an account. Business components, it is used to create a generic methods for Selenium actions like click, send keys, clear, and methods. Utilities, in utilities, it is used to create a generic methods. It is used for any project like get cell data, create get a sheet count, get cell data, and all this. Um, After complete the execution, my result is automatically stored into this log reports. Config, it is used to maintain the environment variables like username and password. I'm using the Maven dependency. All the third-party tools added into the Maven dependency, so all the jobs automatically added into the local Maven repository. All my automation script maintained in the version control GitHub. It is nothing but common repository. These are
Okay.
my framework.
Okay. So I'll give you one scenario. Let us say in your website or the project which you are working, there are 5 pages, and on every page there are some buttons, like we are having submit, login, sign up. So
Yeah.
there are buttons on every page.
Mm.
Now to perform action on these buttons, either you will have to find out the web element and then create a method to do the actions. So what will be your approach to minimize the code? Because there are repeated actions, right? Every time you will have to click on that particular button to go on the next page. So how can we reduce the code? What will be your approach on that?
Like for example, if we get the data from the Excel sheet, uh, that that data, that code is maintained in the utilities. We first utilities file, like that. Like that, we get data from there to the our class by creating an object. So we reduce the length of the code. For example, we just we just open the URL of the orange page like username and password. Uh, if you want to check 5 to 6 credentials, in that time we no need to repeat the code. We just get the code from the utilities.
Okay. You will create multiple objects or a single object?
In that time, one single object.
Single object only. So in this case, you will use utility classes, right, to store the
Yes.
repetitive web elements. Okay. Okay, Himlata, that's it from my side. Do you have any questions?